Shout out to Cats Pawd.
Touchdown, Tommy, the line is electrifying.
Welcome to the Cats Pod. What's up, Podcads? We are back again after another glorious Catterday, another 50-plus point win. Eric Lover, how you doing?
Doing very good, man. Think we may be witnessing the rise of a potential defensive player of the year on a Bobcat team. I don't know about that, but I don't know how you pick one off that roster. But, I mean, the fact of the matter is this is the best defense in the FCS right now. I think that's pretty universal theme across everybody.
Yep.
And it just feels like somewhere on the roster is a guy who should be mentioned in the Buck Buchanan Award. I don't know if it'll happen because it's such a team oriented squad.
Yeah.
But boy, it's special, man. And what's crazy is that they're doing this with not getting very many sacks.
Yeah,
they have
it's
like the fifth best defense in the country and like the 97th ranked team for sacks.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. pretty crazy statistics. I mean, you might as well just already chalk up the entire secondary for all conference at this point.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
And a lot of guys on the cold front. Yeah, no.
It's hard to put into words, man. We've said it all season. We're so not used to a defense like this as Cat fans that it's kind of hard to wrap your head around, I guess.
Yeah. And it's just so dominant at the Big Sky level. They put up all the conference stats, and the Cats were leading in pretty much every defensive category. They were number one. It's like a class of their own for sure.
Yeah, what they're doing at this point is something that I've never personally seen at this level of football on all three levels, playing so cohesively as a unit. And what they did to Weber State was, it was insane.
Yeah.
Missing Alec Eckert and Paul Brock.
Yeah.
And they still did that to them.
They beat Weber State so bad that they fired their coach.
Yes.
It's tough.
Yes, they did.
It was so bad. Eastern Washington earlier this year, coach came out after halftime and said, "I've never seen my team just completely give up before." That's what the Cat defense does to teams. They cause changes in staffing at colleges.
We've seen several instances this year where that defense has made kids not want to play football anymore that game. I can think of two very specific times, and one was Shulikov at Idaho State. At the end of that game, that kid didn't even want to stand up anymore. And the other one was last week against Northern Colorado, that Carver Cheeks. Yeah. That kid was just brutalized by the end of the game.
I'm taking my ball and I'm going home.
Yeah. They're flying to the ball. Multiple guys are getting multiple hits on these players.
Yeah.
They're taking the life out of opposing offenses. Nobody can run with them, and they sure as heck can't stack up to the physicality that the Cats are playing with.
Yeah, I don't know how you could. It just seems like they are playing at a whole different level this year. Like you said, a whole different level than we've ever seen before. And with a mediocre offense, this team would be very good. Yeah. Luckily, we do not have a mediocre offense.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's exactly right. And you can point to so many different spots on the team. Caden Dowler had better be first team all conference at this point. Cole Taylor is working his way to first team all conference. And the entire cold front I mean, I especially, the way Hunter Parsons plays is, to me, pretty damn special. I mean, that guy, he may not get all the flashy sacks, but he constantly is in the face of quarterbacks, making them run, just disrupting the plays. I mean, it's just a pleasure to watch. It makes you feel really comfortable because the one thing is the defense travels.
Oh, yeah. The defense will be ready to go no matter what, and they have been so consistent throughout the entire season, and this game was just a testament to it. Just another glorious game for the Bobcats all around. I mean, we saw a Jordan Reed circus grab touchdown in this game.
That was so sick.
It's like,
I was
so happy for that dude that he got that. Going through like the transition to wide receiver and everything. He hasn't been out there a ton, and then he just goes out there and gets himself a touchdown grab like that. That dude's hands are perfect.
He also
ready for it.
threw a completion in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All around.
Yeah. I mean, the team is, we've said it all year. It's like, they're still working on things, and then you see them come out and they are better than the previous week. Well, there is no doubt that they were better than last week, and last week they were great.
Yeah.
So I guess my biggest thing at this point is, what are they going to do to the rest of these teams that they have to play?
Yeah. Because
they just keep showing you that they can do better.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to get a little bit of a test next week. I don't know, man. It just feels like this defense is built to just demolish teams.
Yeah. It's built to take away your soul.
We've seen how many instances this year have we seen good teams not be able to put away bad teams or lose to bad teams. Yeah. What the Cats do to bad teams, and even good teams, because Northern Arizona is proving to be a good team, and they obliterated them. Idaho State beat UC Davis, and they obliterated them. It's like, I feel like the standard in Bozeman is just a lot different than other places right now.
Yeah. And
I mean,
we've just seen a progression even from last year's team that was great. But last year, during the doldrums, kind of the middle of the season, when we were playing against very similar competition, we would see slow first half starts where the game would stay somewhat close and we'd be up by like 1 or 2 scores. And then all of a sudden it would open up in the second half. Like our defense would kind of wear down the other team, or our offense would wear down their defense, and then they would start scoring. But this year, I can't remember what the stat exactly was, but during the first half of that game, they brought up just how far Montana State is outscoring teams in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. They're beating them by like 3 scores in the first quarter alone. The slow starts are a thing of the past, and these teams are they go out there with a vengeance. I think this team must feel severely disrespected because they are going after teams like it's personal.
Well, I don't actually it may look like that, but I think that when they pull all the starters and like the next guys up and that fresh group of guys behind them comes in, I actually think that they're just that talented to score on the rest of these guys. Like, I feel like our 2s and 3s are better than almost everybody else's 1s.
Could be.
And I feel like our coaching is better than everybody else's coaching right now, and I don't think that it's even close. I mean, I just have to say, this 2 punt returner thing that Marcus has got himself cooked up here, it just screams lethal.
Yeah,
this is dangerous too.
I'm a little scared. This is pretty dangerous.
I mean, the fact is you put Taco Dowler back there and then put a slightly younger Taco Dowler. I mean, who are they going to choose to kick the ball to, or are they just going to kick it like 20 yards out of bounds, call it good?
Yeah, they kind of have to at this point. That's what it seems like.
Because Dane Steele is, he is an extremely talented player and very, very similar to Taco. and you have both those guys back there, holy smokes, man.
And also in the return game, didn't we see Jabez Woods break off a huge kick return? Like,
Yeah.
it's all over the board. The blocking is in place perfectly. We have the right guys with the right amount of speed and agility and balance to just be lethal in that special teams game. And, you know, over across the hill, they've got a very good return man over there. But also wouldn't trade him for a taco dollar.
No.
I wouldn't even. I'm Jabez Woods is growing on me. I wouldn't trade him for a Jabez Woods. Mr. Dave Steele, stick around. We want you.
I mean, if there's one thing we've learned about this Bobcat team is that when it comes to players that are transferring, it has to be the exact right guy.
Yeah.
It has to be. Otherwise, it doesn't even seem like they put a whole lot of interest into anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, we see so few transfers come in, but the impact they all have is huge. So big.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's a good time to be a Bobcat right now. I'm here to tell you.
And it wasn't always like this, but right now it's nice. It is nice. I'm just basking in it. I'm like, I don't even have to talk that much trash anymore. I just know we're good. You know, I don't have to say it.
You know, there's similarities to last year to a certain extent. Like, you know, the talent's on the team, but last year we were almost riding that wave of it's too good to be true. But this year you watch these guys play and it's like, I don't know if it is too good to be true. I mean, these guys are legit. And I mean, we have seen some fairly good teams. I mean, by the time it's all said and done, I mean, you could see maybe Idaho State crawl up into the rankings. I mean, that's a team that keeps on winning big games. And Northern Arizona, I feel like they're going to do nothing but climb from here on out. Probably a playoff team.
Yeah.
And the lower end of the Big Sky Conference, what they've done to them is just nobody else can do it.
No.
I mean, the Northern Colorado just lost to Northern Arizona by a pretty substantial margin.
Yeah.
And that's the only other team that's been able to destroy Northern Colorado other than the Cats. I mean, it's what they've got brewing there in Bozeman. I think it's I don't know, man. I'm not going to say what I want to say because I don't want to jinx anything.
We can read it in your eyes. We know exactly what you're thinking. And I totally get where you're coming from because last year, at no fault of the players, it is only a fault of previous trauma as a Cat fan. You're always kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Exactly.
You know, and we had the whole season and it was like, when is it going to drop? When is it going to drop? When are they going to have like some terrible game? Or like, when is there going to be an extremely unlucky turnover or something that just ruins it? And they kept winning and they kept doing better. And the national championship didn't go the way we wanted, but that didn't feel like such a setback because they also fought back and made that a very good game. It wasn't like they got totally thumped in it. But this year comes along, and the way this team is playing, they're actually stress-free wins now. Because I'm not sitting there going, when is it going to fall?
I think the biggest difference for me from this year to last year is that last year you knew teams could throw the ball on us. You knew it. We had some fairly substantial injuries on that team that, you know, we had insanely good players step up in their place, but it's still, you know, we knew that a team could come out and gash us in the pass game.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like, I mean, sure, you know, good teams are going to get some plays made on you, and there's nothing you can do about it most of the time. But this year, it's like, boy, I don't know, man. I mean, the corners are so good. I mean, I feel like these opposing teams watch a little bit of tape on some of these corners that we have, and they're like, gosh, you know, I don't really want to get hit like that. But whether it be, you know, Jace McMillan or Takari Carr or, you know, any of them, Taden Gray, they just lay the hammer on these guys. Seth Johnson, I don't know how many times he has smoked a dude this season, but it's a lot.
They're just a lot of dudes with some pop, and they
And then
do not mince it.
And then that if somebody breaks a run, they're waiting for Caden Dowler to come in and smoke them. I mean, we saw it this last game. They get one good run, Caden Dowler comes in, punches the ball right out.
Yeah.
So, it's just like, it's something I've not said in a long time, but I really trust the defense to do it.
Yeah.
Like they should have earned all of Bobcat Nation's trust at this point from what they've done.
Yeah. You usually hear a lot of chirping, or there's always some naysayers within the Cat fan base. I don't know if I haven't been talking to people because I've been busy with a baby, but I haven't heard a lot of the chatter. There hasn't been a lot of people going, oh, well, this is going to bite us, or that's going to bite us, or whatever. Everybody's kind of pretty bought in, and they just want to see this team continue to be successful. And I am so excited for these next couple weeks because they are going to change everything.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like there wasn't a whole, before we get into this next game, because there's a lot to talk about in this next game. I feel like we should touch on the rest of not even the rest. There wasn't a lot of good games, but we have to talk about the Grizzlies losing or winning, should have lost in a way that I don't know that any football fan has ever seen before.
Craziest loss of all time. Eastern Washington, you had it. You literally fumbled it. You fumbled the bag.
How do you do? I still can't even wrap my head around it. I don't get it. I don't understand how they get so lucky. Yeah. I mean, it felt like, you and I were watching the game together. Mm-hmm. It felt like the Grizzlies were going to lose that game.
Yeah. They were dead to rights on the goal line.
I mean, and then you get online and the Grizz fan base is chirping about, this rookie core, this first-year quarterback's breakout game. It's like, no, he didn't do it to the Cats when he played them.
Was it a breakout game, or was he just playing against the Grizz defense?
That's kind of the trend we're noticing, isn't it? Bad teams can score on the Grizzly defense.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Watching the Grizzlies play, it doesn't feel like they should be 10-0.
It is weird, and there's just so many of those plays where the ball bounces in weird directions during their games, and this is like just the craziest example. Nobody fumbles the spike. You can count the amount of times the spike has been fumbled on one hand in the entire history of football.
I want to know what Grizzly NIL is paying that Eastern Washington quarterback for that, because there's no way he did that on. There's just no way.
Yeah, there's a point
How do you do
scandal that's about to come out. Too bad the spread was probably 20 points in this game at least. Like, the spread wasn't going to hit no matter what, but they were like, yeah, you got to throw it.
No, the spread wasn't 20 points, Ben. It was 35.5.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Damn.
The Grizzlies were expected to beat Eastern Washington by 35.5 points or something close. It was like 34.5, 35.5.
Well, they were only about 30 points off, Not that big a deal.
You run out. They just see. It seems like they should be running out of excuses, but they just never do.
No, you can always find more excuses. You just pull them out of wherever you can find them.
10-0 is 10-0, but at the same time, they shouldn't have beat North Dakota. They shouldn't have beat Idaho State, and they shouldn't have beat Eastern Washington. They got lucky 3 times.
Yeah, eventually the luck has to run out. It has to. There's no other way you can go about it in this one.
Luckily, it'll be a good test next week when they play Portland State. We'll see if this will be the very first game that they can get their starters out of the game.
We're really testing the Grizz this week. You know, we're going to make sure they have a real challenge coming up against them. Portland State. That's a challenge.
The name Portland State just strikes fear into your heart, doesn't it?
Watch out for the Vikings, man. I didn't really. If you would have told me ever that somebody was calling Portland State a real test of a team, I would not have believed you.
But I mean, even all jokes aside, like, can they beat a bad team the way you're supposed to beat bad teams?
Yeah. Can they?
Could you imagine?
Dominate?
Could you imagine what the score of the Portland State game would be?
Oh, it would be pretty bad. I mean,
it'd probably be a 60 burger.
Yeah.
I mean, you can speculate all you want, but we've seen what they do to, bad teams, and it's absolute destruction. So,
yeah.
If there just will be no faith in the Grizzlies left if they can't put Portland State away and get their starters out of the game for once this season, because these guys have played 10 straight games, all 4 quarters.
Yeah, it's crazy. I can't explain it. The only thing I can say is they just keep winning, and it is my worst nightmare that the Grizz play this way. It is my worst nightmare that they just happen to win, and it makes me feel crazy. I feel like I'm gaslighting myself talking about the Grizzlies. Like, their record says this, but when I watch them play football, it says that, and I cannot figure out what the truth is for the life of me.
I do have something that might actually be your true worst nightmare, though.
Okay, what's that?
There are rumors across the Twitterverse that Oregon State might be after Bobby Hauck, and that would be a nightmare for us, because
that is a nightmare. We
can't lose Bobby Hauck.
No. He's a cornerstone of what's been created here at Montana State.
Yeah. He's directly responsible for like half of everything, because everybody hates him so much.
I might have to. I'm out of here. I can't do it.
I broke him. I broke Ben.
Bobby is the most important thing in the rise of the Bobcats. He is the number one factor. Without Bobby, I don't think we could have done it.
Every hero needs their villain.
Exactly. Every hero needs their villain. Who else is going to wear the worst Oakley sunglasses from 2001 every week? Nobody.
I don't know.
Nobody.
I don't know. The only way they could be any worse is if they had white frames on them.
Yeah, that is the only way. If he had some like white frame gas cans,
Yeah.
White monster in his left hand, and just be ready to go every week. No, he's got the ones that were cool when like the Matrix came out. Those are the kind of sunglasses he wears. It's very odd. It's like he's stuck in that era.
Are they the Neo sunglasses?
They're not.
That's the real question.
Neos. I feel like those were a little bit more stylish. At least those ones had a little bit of style to them. These ones are just like, I don't know where you found them.
Yeah. I can't imagine a world without Bobby Hauck up on the opposing sideline.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
I mean, we had to live with it for a while, and it wasn't that great. Never felt the same.
Did you want to touch on any of the rest of these games? I mean, UC Davis won.
Mm-hmm. UC Davis handled business.
Pinnock did throw 2 picks, though. Mm-hmm. That's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
Against an Idaho defense that's just okay.
Yeah, nothing to write home about for sure. But it does help me out with the lack of juice that I've been feeling for this team, for like this season. I'm really glad UC Davis won this game by a couple scores, handled an Idaho team that is still in the top half of the Big Sky Conference, and handled them fairly well, which makes me feel like we have some real competition.
Yeah. I do know that Davis lost another running back.
Mm-hmm.
They've lost both. I know Rex Connors is out for this season. I think the other Connors brother is out too. Like, this team is hurt.
Yeah, they're not feeling it.
They don't necessarily have depth, and they're playing a freshman quarterback who has yet to face a team quite like Montana State.
Yeah.
Like, that relentless pressure, I don't know. But, I mean, once again, UC Davis, bounced back now after a pretty bad loss to Idaho State. UC Davis can't afford losing much more.
No.
If they lose to the Cats, then they absolutely have to beat Sac State.
Yeah. And I think that they will. I don't think they'll really have any problem with Sac State. And I don't think that like the rankings committees and stuff are going to knock down UC Davis a ton for losing to the Cats. At this point, rankings wise, that's what's expected. But it is very close to a must win against Sac State for them, depending on how this shakes out.
Yeah, it sure feels like it, but it is nice to see them continue winning. They're in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're pretty much unanimously in the top 10 all season long. So, I mean, what it leads you to believe is that this should be a good game. It should not be a stress-free win. But is it crazy to think that it might be?
I don't think it's crazy at all. Just the way that the Cats have been rolling, it's hard not to be overconfident in them. Or it's hard to know where the line between confidence and overconfidence is with this team, just because of how dominant they have been. For the last month, it feels like nobody's been within 50 points of them. I know that's probably not explicitly true, but it still feels like that. And they haven't really been touched by anybody. It hasn't been scary in any of these games. They've just been handling business and handling it to a very extreme degree. And that's why, I feel like I need to stand up. Like I need to just sit up a little bit, get into gamer stance, because we actually have some juice in week 12.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about UC Davis to me is that they don't necessarily beat the pulp out of opposing team. They let the teams, kind of hang around.
Mm-hmm.
They barely beat Cal Poly. They beat NAU decently.
Yeah.
That was a 20-point win.
Mm-hmm.
But, Northern Colorado, 11-point win is all. That doesn't inspire a ton of confidence. Idaho State, they lost to, and then a 2-touchdown win over Idaho. To me, it seems like one of those teams is still trying to figure out what they are, I guess, where maybe the Bobcats kind of know who they are at this point.
Yeah. I feel like I'm catching an anomaly here real quick. I'm not fully sure, but the rankings have UC Davis listed at 6-3. And ESPN has them listed at 7-2.
I'm looking. They've
only lost to Idaho State, right? Outside of Washington?
I'm looking. I see wins: Utah Tech, Southern Utah, Weber State, Cal Poly, Northern Arizona, Northern Colorado, Idaho. 7 wins, 2 losses.
Is the rankings committee counting the Mercer canceled game as a loss?
That's a good question.
What is going on here? Because they have them in 9th, listed at 6-3. I'm not missing anything here. They really haven't lost much. They lost to Washington, and then they lost to Idaho State. So they're probably safe playoff-wise.
I don't know if they have 4 losses.
That is
do you
tough.
still get in?
Yeah. That it's tough to give them that after 4 losses, especially with the way that Northern Arizona's coming back around.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to really dive down that rabbit hole.
No, we don't need to go too much deeper. We can get into next week.
We'll be on here for another 2 hours if we dive down into that playoff deal. But it will be really interesting to see how many Big Sky teams make it, because I guarantee the Cats and the Grizz both in it at this point. That's gonna happen. And then you have Sac State, UC Davis, and Northern Arizona all right there kind of on the cusp.
Mm-hmm.
Do they all get in? Do two out of the three?
Yeah.
Does Northern Arizona get in and the loser of the UC Davis Sac State not get in? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. And also UC Davis probably firmly in it just because they have a direct win over Northern Arizona at the same time. So if it's a battle between them and Northern Arizona at the end of the season, I think that UC Davis probably gets the step up. If I had to guess, probably both those teams will be in the playoffs.
I mean, Northern Arizona going forward, I mean, they play Cal Poly this week.
Mm-hmm.
That's a win, you would sure think. And they play Weber State the following week. So Northern Arizona is going to be 8-4.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like that's pretty safe. But they didn't play Sac State, and they did lose to UC Davis. So I don't know.
Idaho doesn't help them either.
It's super tough to kind of pick that one. And then if you dive into the Sac State side of things, they have a tough game against Idaho this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And then they finish off at Sac State.
Yeah.
Or at Sac State plays UC Davis.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man.
There's a lot to shake out here in the last 2 weeks. That's for sure.
So if Sac State loses, they're probably out. That'd be a 5-loss team.
Yeah.
So realistically, you could take all three at 8-4.
It's possible. I don't see it happening.
High likelihood.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Either way.
I don't know, man. That is quite the rabbit hole you can get into looking at this seeding thing and the playoffs. But
the transitory property of football. There's a reason we don't make these kind of decisions.
Right. As far as like games next week, how do you feel about Idaho at Sac State?
Idaho at Sac State is a game where Idaho really needs to win this one. They have shown flashes of being a really good team throughout the season, but then they just keep getting beat. You know, they play close games. They should have beat the Grizz. They didn't end up having enough juice at the end to beat them. But they just put themselves in bad spots. It definitely feels like they have they do have a young coaching staff basically to the team.
And team.
I don't know how they're at what their actual age is, but I'm just saying like this team has not been together very long and they play that way. I think they're going to turn into a very good team if everyone sticks around for 2-3 years. I think they have a lot of potential, but I don't see a lot of it. And then you have the same exact story with Sac State. So this is kind of the battle of two teams that are built very similarly. So it's hard to tell which one's actually going to pull this one off.
It'll be super interesting because Idaho does. I mean, if they went out their 500 team, which is kind of what they feel like.
Yeah.
But I feel like they got to get there, and they go to Sac State, and then they have Idaho State at home.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like they got to win those games. Their players are super young. They got a fresh coaching staff. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's a tough one to pick, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a really hard game to pick, especially since it's in Sacramento. If this was in the Kibbe Dome, I would pick Idaho probably pretty confidently. I might be wrong to pick them confidently, but the Kibbe Dome has done terrible things to me. And so I have a feeling that it's going to do terrible things to other people. The fact that it's in Sac State, I would call this one a complete toss-up. I think it's a straight pick-em game. I'm leaning towards Idaho just because everything seems like a mess still over at Sac State. Seems like there's a lot of drama going on over there, and I don't think there hasn't been a lot of drama with Idaho outside of them stealing some of the Cat players that I don't appreciate. But that's about the only drama for me.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with you. I think Idaho's going to do it.
Yeah.
I think they will.
Yeah.
We might as well just do the Northern Colorado and Eastern Washington right now.
I mean, Northern Colorado has to get back from those 2 back-to-back losses. They're acting like the Northern Colorado of old. It's time for them to shake that off, dust off the shoulders, get ready to play against an Eagles team that they can very, very easily beat as long as they play the way they were early in the season. Very confident in the Bears in this one. Go to Cheney, Washington, get a dub, have some fun on that red field.
Yeah, I feel like Northern Colorado can do it. I hope they can do it because that just makes that Grizz win look even worse.
Yeah.
If Northern Colorado goes to Cheney and beats them. So
especially if they beat them by like 2-3 scores. Could you imagine that? That'd be crazy.
Yeah. I got to jump on that Northern Colorado bandwagon with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all aboard.
Everybody's going to be here eventually. Everybody's going to be here eventually. There's very few early adopters, but I'm one of them.
The next game, how many points does Northern Arizona beat Cal Poly by?
Northern Arizona better beat them by quite a few points, especially since they're playing at home. Cal Poly, while showing some fight early in the season, they've kind of regressed back to the mean, and I don't think that they are going to be able to hold up to Northern Arizona, especially since they're playing with playoff implications. Northern Arizona is not going to take this game lightly, and they are going to go right after Cal Poly because they're fighting for a spot.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to win by quite a bit, probably. Yeah. I'd guess
pretty safe bet.
17 points.
Yeah, that feels pretty safe. I would say easily a double-digit win. At least 2 to 3 scores is right in the range where it should be.
Yeah, it's time for. I mean, if Northern Arizona wants to make the playoffs, they got to start flexing a little bit on some of these poorer teams. Mm-hmm. It's what we've been preaching all year long. You have to beat the brakes off of bad teams. It's just what you got to do, and Northern Arizona's got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
They got to do it,
and they handled it last week, so that builds a lot of confidence in them going forward.
Yep. We kind of touched on Montana at Portland State. Like, if Montana's playing their starters into the fourth quarter, that's not a good sign.
No, that's a loss for them.
They should be up by. They should probably be up by 3 or 4 touchdowns at halftime.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. Once again, we're setting a ridiculous standard, but it's just the reality of their situation. You can't almost lose to Eastern Washington and then almost lose to Portland State. It would be really tough for them optics-wise.
Well, I don't even know if it has to be like almost lose to Portland State.
Yeah.
I just feel like if you don't blow them out by 30 points, it's not a good look.
No, it definitely doesn't look that good.
I mean, their point spread last week was like 35 points, man.
Yeah.
And they could only manage, a 5-point win?
Yep, 5-point win. Only off by 30 points. They're very close, Eric. I don't know what you're making a big deal out
of. Next up, the fresh-faced Weber State Wildcats. Brand new coach. Let's go.
Fresh-faced.
How you feeling about these new-look Wildcats?
I think Idaho State's figured it out. They've been playing better over the last few weeks. I don't think in the cat v cat battle of the Tigers versus the Wildcats, I don't think the Wildcats are going to hold up very well. Weber State against teams named after cats have not done well recently, so that also leads me to believe that Idaho State is going to win this one pretty handily. Have yourself some fun in Pocatello.
A tiger beats a wildcat in a fist fight?
Yep.
Yeah, sure. I agree.
Yep.
I agree.
I think that's all it really comes down to at this point. And obviously a bobcat beats a wildcat in a fist fight.
You know, I know the Cats blew Weber State out, but I do think that Weber State has some decent defensive backs. I'm kind of grasping at straws here to make something out of this game, but considering Idaho State is kind of an aired out offense, I kind of wonder if maybe Weber State can't do a little something about that. But end of the day, Idaho State's probably going to thump them.
Yeah.
Weber State's so bad.
They're not good.
So bad.
They are, in fact, not good. That is a very good argument, though, for adding some juice to this game for Weber State. If you look at the stats for the Bobcats, the only point you can really point out is that we didn't have a ton of passing yards. Did Lamson not have a ton of yards because he was out after the first half, or because the run game was just working so well? I think those are way more true than Weber State's secondary was shutting them down, but they could have some strength there.
I mean, it does seem. I know that I'm missing something here, but it just is it seems so uncommon to fire your coach mid-season in the FCS.
Yeah, in college in general, it doesn't feel like that happens. We see it all the time in the NFL. It doesn't seem like it happens.
I mean, we see it in the FBS too. Like, Penn State fired James Franklin and several others. Oklahoma State fired Gundy in midseason. So it's like, I see it there. But like FCS, you don't see that very often.
No. And
generally coaches leave after the season is over to do something else. You don't see them get fired mid-season very often. So I feel like I'm going to take the juice back out of the sales that I tried to put in. Firing your coach mid-season is a bad move.
Yeah. You don't
whether he's good or not.
In the locker room. Turns out all the Weber State players just hated their coach entirely. So they're going to play great this week.
Yeah, they literally were trying to stick it to him by sucking.
Yeah. That was the plan. And they did it. They did it. Plan worked out.
They succeeded. Yeah. How do you feel about this 8:30 p.m. kickoff, Ben?
I'm not the most excited about it, but also I don't have a bedtime. I'm not a baby boy anymore. I don't have a bedtime. I can stay up until 8:30. I will really enjoy watching this game. I am so excited for the Cats to play against a team that is somewhat comparable. It's hard to say anything more definitive than that, but compared to Northern Colorado, Weber State, these games we've been seeing the last few weeks, this game offers so much more to look at, so much more to dig into, and I cannot wait to see the Bobcats go against some strength and just watch them do the same thing they've been doing to very bad teams.
Yeah. The downside to it, it is our ESPN game, so you would hope there's a lot of eyes on it, but you have direct competition with ranked teams like Oregon. They play at 7 p.m. and BYU plays at 8:30. Mm-hmm. So kickoff is the same time for BYU as it is, and the average college football fan is probably going to turn BYU on over a random FCS team, regardless of who it is.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What's your prediction on the game?
My prediction is...
Well, first, before you give it,
okay.
Are the starters pulled in this game? Yes or no?
Oh, I don't want to say yes, but it just kind of feels like that, especially playing at home with the lights on. The crowd's going to be super rowdy. They've been starving for a decent Cat game for a long time, and they might still not get a decent Cat game. They might get another blowout where they get to have some extra beers at halftime because it doesn't matter if you quite make it to your seat at the beginning of the third. we might be looking at a pretty big win for the Cats. The more I think about this game, the more I think about the matchup, but you cannot discount the coaching of UC Davis. UC Davis has a stellar coaching staff. They're going to come in with a decent game plan. It's just about how quickly the Cats can adapt to that game plan. I think that is the majority of what this game is going to be.
Next question. The spread's 12.5. You taking it or no?
Oh, I'm taking that easily. 12.5.
Agreed.
The Cats versus the spread has been immaculate through most of this season. Outside of the first two games, I think we've beat the spread every single game. Outside of maybe one. I think I remember one game where we didn't. But Cats versus the spread, doing very, very well recently. I would call this a 2-score win for the Bobcats, and that's an exciting game for them at this point, because they're not up by 35, 40 points. An exciting win for them at this point is, we beat them by 2 scores. They actually put up a fight. That's what we're looking for in this game.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree on the whole thing. I love the 12.5 points. I was a little surprised that it was that low.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to be crazy, but I mean, I guess maybe I expected more like 17.5, maybe.
Yeah. And especially when you factor in the injuries like you were talking about earlier, like multiple injuries at the running back position. The UC Davis is pretty banged up. They're not at like full strength, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, they're not at full strength. And even if they were, I really want to see how this freshman quarterback can handle constant pressure, because if you watch, the Cats aren't the most heavy blitz team in the FC or in the Big Sky Conference. They rely on those front four and the rotation of the guys behind them coming in to keep everybody fresh. And can this kid handle only 4 rushers that are going to be bugging him the entire game? Yeah. While 7 guys drop into coverage? Like, it seems like it's going to be a lot for a freshman.
Yeah. Definitely tough to deal with. And as you mentioned last week, he threw 2 picks, so he doesn't respond to that pressure a ton. I would imagine we're going to see a few turnovers from this Cat defense. We're going to be seeing some players throw on that cowboy hat and be enjoying it right in the middle of not prime time, but right on ESPN2, nationwide coverage. And they're going to be getting to see that spotlight shine on them, and I'm excited for it. Yeah.
I think the biggest problem for the Cats in this one will be that number 20, that running back of theirs. That's a shifty little bugger back there. It's going to be absolutely paramount that they actually wrap up on him. No just throwing your shoulder pad into this guy. It's kind of, to a certain extent, kind of like an Adam Jones. Like, you can't just run into him and think he's going to fall over. He's probably not going to. He's probably going to take a form tackle to get him on the ground.
Yeah.
They control him, fluster the quarterback. I think it's, just another day at the office, 1-0.
Yeah. Obviously, he doesn't have the yards per carry of a member of the Juice Squad or anything like that, but he still is a very solid running back, and he's put together some good numbers throughout this season so far. Definitely a player to keep an eye on.
Yeah. I am excited for this one.
Yeah.
Very excited. I think it's going to be a fun game. Excited
for ESPN. Excited for the night game at Bobcat Stadium. Even watching that on TV is electric. Excited to see the Bobcats go against some top 10 FCS competition. A lot of things to get excited about this week.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Yeah. Anything else you want to tell the people before we let them go?
No, but anybody who's listening that's going to the game, drink lots and drink often, because we want to hear you on through the TV.
Yeah. Drink a beer apiece, one for me and one for Eric. We'll appreciate it.
We would appreciate it.
We would appreciate it. All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Go ahead and rate us 5 stars wherever you are listening to this at. Follow us on Instagram and X at CatsPod. Follow us on YouTube at The CatsPod. We will catch you guys again after another glorious Catterday.
Adios.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.